to go from that event, swim, to the muscle under, the muscle ups, ski, and double under.
Yeah.
I think that there is a lot of, this was when the conversation came up about, you know, the 72-hour rule after competition. We want to give that time for the emotions to subside and look back. And I think this event, which we'll get to, has that one clouding factor, which is, I think, stopping us from seeing clearly and just keeping the theme of output and execution and how did that look versus letting the emotion. So I think we know that the output was suboptimal, given that the double under skill element was limiting, and that's established in the gut, with the execution also being suboptimal because the double unders on turf proved to be a really good challenge. And we know that's also a stab in the gut because double unders are your wheelhouse. And ironically, I think it creates a tough conversation because we want to focus on the optimism and what went right and those things. But we knew the double unders on the turf were tough, and I don't think it reflected the true potential of what could have been. But on the other hand, it was what it was on turf. So it was the same for everyone.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, mate. When that workout was released, I was just super, like, out of anything in the whole weekend, I went, okay, this is, what an awesome opportunity. I've now from, you know, bottom of the field, had an awesome second place finish, to now I'm within striking distance of being top 10 going into the final workout. And all the while, although it was, you know, it's further ahead, it was like a heavy thruster workout, and I just love heavy thrusters. I was like squatting and pushing overhead, so ball balls, that sort of stuff. So I was just really wanted to get that final workout. I think that there was an awesome opportunity with such high volume of double unders, 300, 100 in each round, to be able to, and I love ski erg as well. Not so strong on muscle ups, but I knew that I wouldn't be at the top of the field on the muscle up. I thought I'd mow the field down with the double unders because it's their recovery for me, pretty much. So super excited before the event, but calm and just excited to get amongst it and actually do a CrossFit workout that had. I just love the combination of it, the beauty of the gymnastics with the cardio piece and then you know, a bit of a skill element there, which was a very turned into being a very demanding skill element. The jumping on the turf was a running into a cement wall, which will be slammed down.
Yes.
But it wasn't the case on that day.
Yeah, I think, mate, so to make it a conversation worth having, I think, is there, you know, do you have creative solutions for the problem going forward? Are you going to practice double unders on turf? I'm just curious as regards to, you know, this is such a wheelhouse of yours.
Yeah.
And looking for future considerations, you know, what are you going to do? You know, are you going to practice it on turf, on other elements like grass as well, or, you know, what's sort of the outlook on that moving forward?
Yeah, I think that, the answer is yes. I'll definitely get on the turf, and I want to be able to just get on there and have that experience again. I think that the actual equipment as well, want to have some varied pieces of equipment. I only had one rope on the field. I practiced heavy double unders and bought a couple of different ropes, but I only had my RPM Speed Evo rope, which had just the lightest metal and the fastest one available on the market. So to have a coated rope for sure would be definitely more beneficial, and it was spoken about by. I've never had an event like this at the Games where, well, it happens a lot, it does, where you'll be waiting on the field and there'll be athletes coming off and they're like they tell you about what's happening on the field, and that does happen a lot. But there was a bombarding of every athlete that came off the field. By the time we're in the first corral, they were saying, "Jump higher." I'm like, "Jump higher?" I'm like, "My double unders are the bomb." You know, hold your hands out wider. Use a coated rope. They were just giving me this just a ton of information about how to improve or how to do well in the double under. Yeah, it was, definitely have a couple of tools in your kit for every experience, hence the belt.
Yes.
I think it's just having the right tools as well as probably the right workmanship as well. So there's no one to blame but the user,
Sure.
the person doing the work, as much as I wanted to blame everything else.
100%.
So, yeah, it was a very, very extremely humbling experience. Felt like it was just very, very challenging to finish the weekend with that, or finish the experience with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say as a non-prescriptive, just thought that there would be, I would hope that you would try, if you're not already doing it, was to just try and see past that. I think I feel your pain because I've been in those situations as well when there's been one event which is just like put this big grey cloud over the whole, let's say, race or competition, and it clouds the thought of trying to think clearly about what we're trying to do. And I think that double under event, as it stabs deeper in the gut, but I think that it's as inconsequential as any other small thing that happened over the weekend.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
The thing.
the big thing. Yeah, exactly. So, there were many things over the weekend that could have been better. Double unders, we can just put that on the list as well, versus saying it's this whole own topic. And I think for me, mate, just to sort of touched on this in the intro, was I think being there was this overwhelming. We obviously had you on social media a lot. There was this overwhelming response from the rugby guys, from other people in Fairfield, reaching out saying, "Whoa, Ben's at the games, sick, good luck to him," etc., etc. So I think that there's something bigger here than just the competition side. I think for folks like yourself and me, we live in that competition, but I think for people outside of us, they see it as this inspiration, they see it as this leader, they see it as this guy is a trusted source of information based on what he's doing and what he's exhibiting. So there's the CrossFit Games, there's the output and the execution.
Sure.
And then there's this, I don't know what you want to say, like a legacy that's being, driven into every part of the community, from people being inspired to keeping people honest to just having a place where people can come and just let their mind down and exhibit some kind of confidence and fitness.
Yeah.
So there's something bigger than the games, mate.
For sure. Yeah, no, I agree with that, for sure. It's, but there's definitely more than results, and there's a lot to be learned from participating in something like that. And I, again, upon reflection, it's important for me to come back to before the games, when I was just very happy to actually be there, to be able to do everything without injury, to be able to perform muscle ups, to be able to do a handstand walk, to be able to. I really just wanted to enjoy the experience, which I did. I had a phenomenal time. There was also a shift in the competitor at times where we want to be the best. We want to do well in every event. We're also very hypercritical. The more you get into it. So there was the before the event experience and how I wanted it to transpire, and how and then the end. the feelings, but it was good to sit back and just take a step back and say, hang on a minute, you know, just come back to how you wanted it to be before the event.
And that was just.
And that was to enjoy the experience and be very, very happy and blessed to be there, and to be able to get through the event and not be injured, and to you know, because yeah, so. But yeah, it's just a CrossFit is just a humbling sport. It's a humbling experience for the members in the gym every day, and it's just, I think it doesn't matter if you're playing the sport or you're actually, you know, doing the workouts in the gym. There's no real variation to how challenging it is emotionally and physically. Yeah, and yeah, that's I think that's probably the best finish there.
100%. Yeah. It was, you know, again, mate, it was just a real pleasure to be there. I look forward to the future, mate. I think that if it's in competition again, or if it's just in coaching, you know, or if your journey takes you into triathlons or paddling, or I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Paddling coming up, and then ergathlon. Try and take on the champ.
So I look forward to that, mate.
So do I, mate.
I look forward to that, and you know, you walk in the talk, so you know, people I think appreciate that.
So are you, mate.
Thank you, mate.
So are you. You're a champion.
Learn from the best, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fucking sick, mate. That was fucking sweet.
That was